Why, hello there, and welcome to this video. If you clicked on this, then you're probably wondering why I'm here, why I'm talking, and what I'm doing. And if that's the case, then you're in luck because today that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk about why I'm going to be here making a Wednesday and Saturday show every week. So, first of all, what am I doing? Well, as I said, it's a Wednesday, Saturday show where I talk about news and politics, cultural trends, all that wonderful stuff with progressive framing. I sort of self identify as like a democratic socialist. I don't really vibe too much with the strict labeling of those sort of things because, sometimes that comes down to like a single nuanced policy decision. But to be totally honest with you, I think that that label is pretty accurate for what I generally stand for. I'm also huge on civil rights and pushing forward the cultural narrative so that we can have a brighter tomorrow for everybody. But that's just what I'm doing. A Wednesday and Saturday show where it's about probably 4 to 6 stories, and I'm going to cut them up into individual segments and upload them as individual videos because that's just what I have to do for the algorithm. But that's just what I'm doing. What I want to talk about is why I'm doing this. So I've been politically engaged for I would say 6 to 8 years. It's hard to really keep track of it at this point. The world is constantly in a huge state of flux right now. But I would say that I have been politically engaged for a number of years now. And while I feel like I'm in the know and I feel like I know what's going on around me, I'll be totally honest and real with everyone. I haven't really done too much with that knowledge other than just sit with it. Sure, I stand up for my beliefs. And when I talk to people, I'm principled and stuff like that. But it's just that I haven't actually taken any political action to try to make the world a better place or move it in a direction that I think it should be moved in or anything like that. And so that's what this channel is about. This is my attempt to make a difference, my attempt to do something, my attempt to take my political knowledge and my skill set and put it to use. So I just mentioned my skill set, and you may be thinking to yourself, okay, well, you want to get politically involved. There's a million ways to do that. I could canvass, I could phone bank, I could run for office. I could do a million things, least of which is probably the video and the streaming and content creation stuff. And I would say, actually, don't underestimate how powerful content creation can be, because I think it's probably one of the most pivotal tools that we have in our tool set right now when it comes to the political world. And I feel like this is really obvious if you just turn on your TV and listen to mainstream media for 15 minutes. And then turn off your TV and go to YouTube and look up some politics channels and listen to what they're saying. The narratives are night and day different. I mean, sometimes there's little bits of overlap, little bits of factuality that's shared, but the narrative, the spin is just so radically different. And I think that generally speaking, the people on YouTube are standing up for the voters. They're standing up for the everyday person. They're speaking the thoughts that are being thought by everybody as they watch the political events unfolding around us. And the mainstream media is the paid off, empire that is there to propagate the propaganda. So I do want to say that I think that it's actually a really powerful tool because the media narrative can be really, really influential in a bad way in preventing progress. And I think that this online independent media sort of thing that's going on is kind of one of the biggest things that we have right now. But for me personally, the reason why I picked content creation and not other things like canvassing or whatever, it's just quite simply, I've been doing this already. I was a gaming YouTuber for a number of years. And what I've kind of realized is that gaming is a passion of mine. I love gaming. I view it as an art form. I view it as a way of expression. I view it as a way of telling stories and learning about other people's experiences and all sorts of wonderful things video games are. But one thing that I realized is that my passion for video games doesn't survive the content creation process. Making content on video games kind of kills it for me. And so that's just sort of the way it is, That being said, I will say that I have a lot of experience ranting and raving and talking about politics with my friends and stuff like that. And it's something that I can go on about for a literal eternity. So I know for a fact that this is something that I can do, that I'm passionate about. I love talking about politics. I love expressing my viewpoints. I think that it's interesting to start discussions with people and have discourse and see where that leads and see what we can learn and see how we can grow. I try not to brag very much, but I feel like I can be pretty charismatic when I want to be. And I want to use that as a tool for good. I want to try to speak to people and help them understand why a progressive standpoint, in my opinion, is the best standpoint. It's the best place to be because you're standing for all of the policies that actually help people. And I think that it's really, really important that the progressive side of politics gets better at dominating the narrative. Like, if you're a progressive, then you should have this sort of like feeling that you're on the right side of things. Like if you're supporting civil rights, if you're supporting things like Medicare for all, you don't want people to die because they don't have insurance, stuff like that. Like, you're just right. Like, you're just correct. And honestly, it's more of a thing of framing, where like we've just sort of lost the framing narrative war for so long, being on the progressive or the left side of things, that we're used to losing. And unfortunately, like, that's just a sad reality of like politics for a long time, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can start usurping this narrative. And I think now is the perfect time. The right is in shambles. Their narrative has completely fallen apart because Donald Trump has just dominated the Republican Party and turned it into his party, which is great because all of that old school, like talking point Republican stuff that really dominates narratively, that good old boy Republican stuff, like, it's dead, it's gone, and it doesn't dominate the narrative anymore. So that leaves this void, this absolute void, where people want a confident leader. They want people who are responsible and in charge and looking out for the good of the country. And I think Democrats can be that party. They can be. Not that they are right now. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of potential for the future, but it really depends on how we like plead our case and how we talk to the American people, because like we got to get people on board, right? Like, it's not enough to just come to a conclusion and be like, wow, this would be great if this were the case. We need to convince people that that's true. So that's why I'm here. I want to build a friendly community. I want to talk about politics, cultural trends, stuff like that. I'm a really optimistic person in general. That doesn't mean that I don't look at the facts. I understand how bleak the world is. That's why I'm here. I want to try to make a difference because the world is so bleak and because things are so bad. I feel like I can make a positive difference, use my positive energy to try to bring people in line with what's going on and try to push for better change. But yeah, that's why I'm here. Also, I want to do a little bit of representation. I'm transgender, if you didn't notice, and I've been transitioning for about 10 months now. It's been absolutely life-changing for me. It's something that took me a long time to come to. Like, I'm 30, and it took me a long time to realize that I was trans, like an embarrassingly long time. And my personal experience of being transgender is that I view myself as a transgender woman, but I also view myself as non-binary. And I realize that in our cultural landscape, that's still a little weird for people. People don't really understand what I mean by that. And they don't really understand like what my experience is like in that sense. And I'm not saying that like if you identify as a non-binary woman, you have the same experience as me, or if you identify as non-binary or a woman or whatever, like we all have our individual experiences. But I just feel like there's space and room for me to talk about my experiences and help people that maybe feel a little weird about their experiences. Like, I know for me, for example, there was just absolutely zero positive representation for transgender individuals when I was growing up. And I firmly believe that that is like a huge reason as to why it took me so long to get to where I am today. So yeah, part of me being here is just having a little bit of representation, and maybe my viewpoint, maybe my experience will speak to some people and help them affirm their experience. But yeah, that's going to be it from me here. I just wanted to make a channel trailer to kind of talk about why I'm here, what I'm doing, all that stuff. We got the Wednesday show, we got the Saturday show. I would love to do more than that. Like, I would love to do like every day, 5 days a week, that sort of thing or whatever. But to be totally honest with you, I work a full-time job right now. And so this is about all I can muster. It's going to be really challenging for me to do a full-time job and upload like 2 shows a week at the same time. But I'm kind of hoping that like either my career will really take off or this will really take off, and then I can put one of them to rest and, you know, move on with my life. So, you know, I'm hoping that this is the thing that grows, because I'll be totally honest with you. If I have to pick between working a full-time job and making content here on YouTube, I think I would have a lot better of a time making videos here on YouTube. I mean, being able to work from home would just be kind of like a dream for me. But right now, that's nothing more than a pipe dream. So I'm just going to try to keep my expectations minimum here, and I'm just going to put my head down and I'm just going to work. I just want to try to get this stuff rolling. I know I'm not going to be perfect. I know there's going to be things I can improve on. My camera quality, my audio quality, my editing, my presentation, everything can probably get better and will get better. But I just figure like I need to get started. This year is so important with the election coming up, with everything going on. It kind of feels like this year, this election is going to define the next forever. It really does feel like we're at an inflection point. And so I really, really hope that my involvement here can make a positive difference, even if it's not massive, even if it's just a slight difference. That would be great for me. All right. Well, if you listen to me ramble and rant and stuff like that, thank you so very much. I'm looking forward to getting my shows out and having those out and stuff. So I hope that you'll hit the subscribe button. I hope you'll hit that bell button to notify you of whenever I upload my videos. And also, like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think so far of like how I speak, how I present myself, of just whatever I don't really care. I don't know. Just tell me how you're doing. How's your day? Whatever. Leave a like on the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, do me a little tiny favor and drink some water.